September 8th, the world heard the big news about the Queen who passed away. For many, it came as a shock, despite having lived till a ripe old age of 96 and seemingly lived a very beautiful life. My name is Sylvia Machete. In the last 2 days, I've partially lost my voice, but I thought, well, that's not going to stop me from asking this question. When are we going to stop being shocked when someone passes away? When will we finally realize that something so inevitable shouldn't come as a surprise to us anymore? We should be used to it by now. People have been checking out from this earth for decades. When are we going to normalize death and see it for exactly what it is? A garment that's being returned and a transition into a new garment. It's just as simple as that. The irony is that when that transition happens, you stand before your Creator as an ordinary spiritual being. There's no more crown, there's no more titles, no royalty, no influence, no power. No, look at me. Do you know who I am? I was the head of state of all of the Commonwealth nations. I sat on the throne for 70 years. All that would not matter now. It will simply be, how have you lived your life? Did you manage to right all your wrongs? Did you atone for your misdeeds? What did you do with the opportunities, the gifts, and the many talents that you were blessed with? What virtues have your spirit embodied as you step out of your physical body? How do you stand before your Creator? The rest of us are here talking about, oh, it's so sad. Oh, the Queen has passed. We're always afraid of death. And we wrap it around this sadness because as hypocrites, we never bother to find out who we are and what happens to us when we die. So that even after living till 96 and having lived a really wonderful, vibrant life, people are still sad. What will they prefer? That you didn't die at all? But you're not from around here. This is not your home. That's the one thing that we can all agree on, that we will eventually have to leave this planet. So why not get comfortable with it and begin to know what's next for me after I pass away? But many are still so afraid and so scared, and their sadness and their fear is misplaced. There's a bigger thing to be afraid of. Never mind this physical body that will decompose and rot in the grave. Never mind that one. That one is very temporary. What you should fear is spiritual death, where you end up losing your soul. What you should be doing right now is nothing but living your life so that you can avoid that spiritual death. What is the meaning of life? Why are we here? We already know that we're not going to be here forever. So what's next for us? It's not enough when someone dies and we say, oh, it's so sad. Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. What's lost? What's sad? They've merely shed a cloak amongst the many outfits that they've adorned to travel down to this earth. And if we took the time to have that knowledge, then we will find out that there's nothing to be sad about. It's like taking off a dress after you've attended a lovely party. What's sad about that? Especially if the party lasted so long, 96 years in her case. The party is over now. And unless you and the people around you thought that you were the dress and they kept mourning the fact that the dress is no more, that's sad. Because what will truly be sad and what will truly be a loss is if after centuries of being permitted to canvas through this universe and experience all the beauty that this universe has to offer, the lights gets turned off from your soul and you lose your soul and become nothingness. You become unconscious, like you never existed. This is what spiritual death is, and that is what we should be afraid of. That's the one to be sad about and to say, I'm sorry for your loss, because that will be the greatest loss to befall any human spirit. Think about it. If Elon Musk invited you to go to space with him and he's asked his people at Tesla, oh, design the most beautiful spacesuit and space helmet for this person. You get to wear this spacesuit and you go to outer space and you realize, wow, this suit is nice. It makes me do things that I never imagined. I can just float around space. I can touch everything. I can feel everything. I can sense everything. And then you spend so long in outer space. And then you begin to think that you are actually the spacesuit because it's doing all these fantastic things in space that you never imagined. And you forget your real self who is wearing that spacesuit. Now, your physical body is that spacesuit. And your mind is that space helmet. So the real you is the person who is wearing the suit. So how can you forget that? So if you're leaving space and coming back to the earth, you'll eventually need to take off your spacesuit. So should we be sad for you that you've gone to outer space and you've enjoyed and you're now going back? No, you are not in space anymore and you won't be needing the suit. We shouldn't be sorry for your loss. All that is lost is your spacesuit. So unless you didn't live according to the way you were supposed to live in outer space and now you're scared of the repercussion, then you should be worried. Most of us can no longer sense the real person who's within. We don't know who we are anymore and we think we are the spacesuit. So we waste a lot of time in outer space, faffing around and until it's time for the spacesuit and the helmet to be taken from us. And then we realize, wow, so that wasn't even me all along. And there's the real me here that exists. But by that time, you have starved the real you, that it becomes spiritually blind and deaf and dumb and hungry and thirsty for spiritual food. And then if it's too late at that time, the result is then spiritual death. That's when we are truly sorry. That's when we say, I'm truly sorry for your loss. Because you have spent all that time only to lose your soul. So yes, you can enjoy life in your spacesuit. You can even adorn your suit with medals and crowns and titles and positions and all the diamonds in the world and all the Chanel bags and shoes. But remember, you are not the suit. You will have to take it off at the exact moment. Whether you are 96 or 56 or 26, all that will not matter. But the real you will have to emerge, either ready for an eternity of bliss or sadly spiritual death. I won't be sorry for the loss of your physical body. It was just a gift that you've had to return. I will be more sorry if you were to lose your soul. So let us remember why we're here, how temporary all of this is, and what's truly important. And begin to strive consciously to avoid losing that one and only most important possession that we have, our souls. Bye for now.